Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to be looking at Joshua chapter 6. This is the story of the Battle of Jericho. Now, some people know this from the old Sunday school song, right? Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho. And the song tells us that Joshua and the people marched around the city of Jericho for 7 days, blew their trumpets, shouted, and the walls came tumbling down. Even though that's the plot of this scene, I want us to think about something specific here. So Joshua has led the people to the city of Jericho. In the last video, I talked about how the spies were helped by the prostitute Rahab who lived in Jericho. Now that the people have come to Jericho, they keep their promise to Rahab. They'll remember to protect Rahab and her whole family, since she protected the spies. But at first, when they come upon this walled city of Jericho, Joshua tells the people, because he heard this from God, to march around the city with some people blowing ram's horns, some carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and some soldiers just walking. So they walk around the city for 6 days. Now, let's think about this. Imagine that you are someone living in Jericho. You see this group of people coming upon your city, and you think they're going to attack. You look out your window, and you see them marching around your city. Not shouting, not saying anything. The only sounds you hear are the sounds of their feet on the ground and the sounds of the ram's horns that they're blowing. They're not coming against the city. They're not fighting. If you were somebody living in Jericho, I bet that would make you scratch your head and wonder what in the world is going on here. Who are these people? What are they trying to do here? Clearly, this kind of behavior would get the attention of the people in Jericho. Also, notice that the people living in Jericho did not attack the people of Israel. Here you have all these people marching around your city, and you would think they might start attacking them, like tell them to go away from your city. But they don't. They're just sort of surprised and dumbfounded. The Bible doesn't tell us the story from the perspective of the people in Jericho. It only tells us the story from the perspective of the people of Israel outside. But if you're somebody in Jericho, this would look really strange to you. And it was, right? Who would think that this is a way to take over a city? Well, on the 7th day, after they're marching around, Joshua finally tells them to shout. And everyone does, and the walls come tumbling down. Rahab and her family, of course, are kept safe before this happens. So what is going on here? This had to be the question that the people living in Jericho were asking. And sometimes that's the question we ask too. What in the world is going on here? We don't understand things. In particular, we ask that sometimes when God calls us to do something that looks really weird. Imagine the reactions of the people when Joshua told them, okay, this is our battle plan. You're just going to march around the city, carry the Ark of the Covenant, and you won't attack it. They probably thought it was kind of bizarre too. But they trusted Joshua and they trusted God. When we trust God, we can see that God can do great things through us too. Right? This is all God's doing. This isn't Joshua's doing. This isn't the doing of the people. This is all God's doing here. And even though it looks really strange, God was still at work. Have you ever felt that God was calling you to do something strange? Something out of the ordinary? Calling you to do something that other people might not do it that way? This is a good example of listening to God. When we see what happened with Joshua and all these people and how they took over the city of Jericho, it reminds us that God acts in some strange ways sometimes, both for them and for us. So pay attention when God is calling you to do something, because even though it might sound really strange, maybe it's exactly what you need to do. There's your 5-minute Bible study for today. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.